Grace is God's choice plus God's work. Now, another definition of grace here is God's work to the undeserving. Look at it. It says, I am not what? Worthy. So I don't deserve it. So who I am, that's what verse 10 is. That when you look at who I am today, is simply a function of grace. It doesn't mean that I did not work hard, but if not for his grace, my hard work will be nothing. And the example God gave me this as I was meditating over this is the example of drilling oil. No matter how sophisticated the equipment is and how expensive that equipment is, it cannot discover oil except oil is there. Is it the sophistication of the equipment and the cost of the equipment that helps you discover oil? Not necessarily. Oil must first be what? Be there before it discovers it. Effort only discovers what grace has deposited. If grace doesn't deposit oil, no amount of what? Effort will find it. If grace doesn't deposit the oil of revelation, the oil of wisdom, the oil of business ideas, if grace doesn't deposit it, no amount of effort. Are there not some people that read so hard, but yet they don't come out with first class? There's something about grace depositing wisdom, depositing insight that makes what? Effort yield results. We know that if there's no gold there, no drilling will find gold. So there must first be what? Gold before drilling, which is effort, finds it. So we don't celebrate the effort first. We celebrate first what? The grace that deposited it. God said to Moses, when the people were complaining about water, he said, go on before the people and take with you some of the elders of Israel and take in your hand your rod with which you will struck what? The river and go. He said, behold, I stand before you there on the rock in Horeb. So that means I have gone what? Ahead of you. It now says, and you shall strike the rock and water will come out of it and the people shall drink. Do we see grace, effort and result here? What is grace in this verse? I stand before you. Grace goes ahead and stands before us. What is effort? Strike the rock. What is result? And the water will come out. So did the water come out by effort? Water came out because of what? Grace went ahead. It was grace that made the effort yield result. It was grace that converted the rock to a river. And so when it struck the rock, the water came out. Grace went ahead and prepared the work. It was grace. A stone could not have killed Goliath, but a stone empowered by grace was what killed Goliath. Do you know that without grace, David could have missed? It was grace that enabled David not to miss. It was grace that converted the stone to a bullet. And that's why the stone can penetrate since the beginning of David till date. I'm yet to see where a catapult killed somebody. Today, even catapult, when you stone some birds, they don't die. It just weakens them, but they don't die. It was grace. So, do you know that David's ministry, it was only once he used catapult? There was no other account in the Bible where David used catapult. After that incident, he started using what? Sword. That account is not an account of skill, even though skill is important. Because David could use the sling. Yes, I know, that's skill. But just like this, he wasn't striking the rock that made the water come out. It was because God had gone what? Ahead. It wasn't the stone. It was because God had gone ahead. Skill is important. Don't get me wrong. Sometimes God uses your skill and God empowers your skill. But don't forget the fact that it was because God what? Empowered your skill. For example, somebody say, but Esther was beautiful. Yes, I know. But it wasn't just her beauty that made her the queen. It was because favor singled her out. Do you know what favor did? Before Esther, favor ensured that the king was not satisfied with anybody else. And after Esther, favor ensured that the king was not interested in any other person else. Some king would have said, let me see what? Let me see everybody, then I can what? I can decide. That's grace.